There's no question that autumn has finally arrived. In fact, it's almost winter. There's still a few leaves on grandfather oak, but most of the leaves that used to be there are now here. Yes, as you can see, I have a lot of lawn sweeping to do. But not today. No. I'm here to work on Pearl because guess what I got in the mail? My carburetor throttle bolt. And we're going to see if it fits today on the MT and Me. And welcome to today's continuation of the great carburetor saga here in Pearl on the MT and Me. Now, last time we were getting vacuum lines hooked up, and I'm happy to see they are all still hooked up. No gremlins have gotten in here and undone my work. But my other piece of work a couple of weeks ago was doing this fitting that ties all of the connections to the carburetor throttle. Right now I just have a very small, wimpy screw going through there with some bolts and washers on it. And it works. It holds everything together. But it's a little on the loose side and wonky side. Well, I ordered what I think is the part I need to go there. The small brass screw has a nut, a locking nut, and also a locking washer to clip over the end. That'll be on the end where the actual throttle bar that goes down to the transmission goes. Now that I have this, I'm a little worried about my actual gas pedal connection going over this end where it's supposed to connect. This looks like it's going to be a little big. There's only one way to find out. That's take my assembly off completely, put this in, and see if it fits. So yeah, the big question of the day is this going to work right there? Well, size-wise, there's certainly enough room. Actually, I think this will go on that side and it'll bolt down. And my worry is this connection right here going over that. And there's only one way to find out if that's going to happen. And that'll be to start taking this off. Those springs out of the way, that'll help. I knew I dropped the nut before this was over and done with. There we go. Okay. Cruise control disconnected. That's disconnected. As I recall, this was kind of hard to get in. Let's see if I can get it out. There we go. Have to open the throttle to get to it. Okay. Here's my big concern, and apparently I am right to be concerned, because that is not going to go over that. Well, we'll fit over the other end. You know, maybe I can do this the other way. Problem there is going to be one of clearance on the carburetor, because if I do it this way, That could interfere with anything else. My end over here. I can also hook this in the same place. This is the cruise control. And then that, I'd hook over that. I think with a little persuasion, I could snap that in. But I don't want to do it right now because it might not come back out. I'm pretty sure I could get that over there. Make that work. I'll say it again. Nothing is ever simple. So should I try and fit this and use it? Or should I keep looking? Because I obviously don't have the right part here. Once again, I have something that I can make work. And it will work better than what I had. But it's still not exactly the right thing. Well, I'm going to try to hook this up for now. Here again, I can always come back and undo what I've done. But I'm still not going to give up looking for the correct throttle pin, throttle bar, throttle bolt, throttle, whatever they call this little thing. It really doesn't say anything on the package. High performance parts. So, that's what it is. Well, I've got it. I've gotten this far. Let's put it in and see what happens. It has a locking washer that goes on. And then I need to get the nut on it so that I can tighten it up. That over it. Yep. That over it. And then I actually have, alright, this little locking ring that needs to go on there. I really hope you can see how much fun I'm having here, endeavoring not to drop this part, gripping it tightly and trying to hook it over the end of this bolt where it belongs, when I can't really see what I'm doing and I don't have any room to maneuver. Hey, I think I got it. Yay! Pardon me for celebrating, but that was hard. Okay. Alright, now we have to tighten this nut back down. Okay, I'm hoping maybe all that will work. Now, I said I thought I could snap this on there. See if I thought right. Okay, I'm kind of thinking now that maybe if I try to widen out this end a little bit so that I can hook it over. You don't want this thing coming off by any means. However, it's not going to be reaching that extreme, or it shouldn't be, in normal use. Ideally, the way you adjust this is you put your throttle wide open and you set this turns and adjusts. You set it so that it's pushed all the way down at wide open throttle. And then when the throttle goes back, of course, it relaxes. And it's going to fall somewhere around mid-range. It shouldn't ever come up to this end. So if I widen this very end out just enough to get over that hook, then it ought to get on there and stay on there. So to do that, got to have a drill and a pretty big bit. Let's see what we can come up with. So, in my vast disarray of tools, I have found one bit that's big enough to do the job. I've taken the actual slider part of that connector off so that we can work with it easier. It is firmly attached to the workbench here. Should be able to drill right down through this part and maybe widen that hole just enough to slip it over that ring. Let's see if this will even drill through that aluminum or steel. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's metal, and this is not really made for metal, so fingers crossed again. Yeah, here we go. Well, as you can see, I'm having my problems here. Alright, let's try a different approach. This plan may have some problems. So I'm sure it's quite obvious to you by now that I don't have the right drill bit. This is not aluminum, it's steel. And I'm not going to be able to drill that out. Well, I made a minute difference, so let's go see if I made any difference at all. And if not, we'll start formulating Plan B, whatever that might be. Okay, well, as you know, we haven't had any luck trying to enlarge this sliding gap. So let's take a different approach. Where'd my file go? Ah, here it is. Let's try putting a flat spot on this little pin and see if that won't accomplish the same thing. Sure, why not? Makes sense to me. I'm starting to wonder which is harder, steel or brass. They seem to be a pretty even match for one another. All right, the moment of truth. It fit. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. And it's not going to just pop off of there. All right, all right, all right. Okay, now I have to take it off and get it back on the arm. And put it back in place. Oh, I scared myself there for a minute. I had disconnected the throttle connection to make room to get to... Okay, this just pops back in. There we are. Now, let's see if it works. Let's hook our throttle springs back up. Not sure if that one goes right there or not. But seems to work for the time being. Well, that might not be exactly the correct pin, but it is doing the job. So, at this point, I'm going to go with this for now. I'll keep my eyes open, keep researching, and see if maybe I'll find exactly the correct pin. I can always come back and put it in later. But I think I've got something now that will work, will do the trick. That's cool. I could just sit here all day and watch this. Like a kid with a new toy. Well, hey, it is almost Christmas. Okay, so where are we now? In the last 2 weeks, we have, well, first of all, we initially hooked up the carburetor, got it installed. It's in 3 weeks, I guess. Got it installed, tightened down, and did an initial hookup that I wasn't satisfied with. All right, well, I was looking for the right part. We hooked up vacuum hoses. Got that one hose that I was worried about successfully rerouted and resecured, so I don't think there's any problem there. And now that I got the throttle pin in, well, it may not be exactly the right pin, but it's doing the job. And it's doing it better than what I had fabricated. So, for the time being, I'm content with that. Looks like it's going to work. Now, this is all being said without trying to run the engine because she's not quite ready to hit the ignition and turn over yet. But when that time comes, we may discover, oh, we got vacuum leaks, or oh, this throttle system's not going to work, or oh, boy, I did this completely wrong. So I'm not going to count all my eggs, much less put them in a basket at this point. But it looks good, and it's progress. That's the big thing. I feel like I went so long making such little progress here on Pearl, and now things are slow still, but steady. You have to remember, despite my advancing age, I still have a full-time job, and it takes priority over anything else I do. Especially in media, it can be very demanding sometimes because we have special events come up. I have to, maybe work certain days, even some holidays or weekends. Sometimes stuff has to be done. And as you know, radio is one of those things that never closes. Doesn't matter if it's night or holiday or, you know, there's a natural disaster or anything. We're still open and we're still working. So it can be demanding. And so my priority goes with that. Therefore, I don't have a whole lot of time. And I have to sleep occasionally. I don't a whole lot, but I do occasionally. So that just leaves me maybe a few hours a day, weather permitting, to get out here and work on Pearl. Plus do anything else that I need to do too. So please bear with me if you think things are moving along slowly. Because indeed they are. But I have a life outside of this RV. I can't just devote. This is the reason we didn't buy her and just immediately jump right in, fix the motor, and redo the interior, and blah, blah. We would be out camping now. Well, that hasn't happened. It's been, you know what, over a year that we've been making videos. 2 years, I guess, making videos, 100 videos, yeah, and still counting. So yeah. I know things seem slow sometimes. Progress is by inches. Sometimes it's by millimeters. But it's still going in the right direction. Next time, I don't know. I have promised you a very special Christmas program. And I think that's what's going to be coming up next after this one. Okay. And I don't even know if Pearl will make an appearance in it, but I guarantee it will charm your Yuletide spirit, because 'tis the season for that. And I hope it's being a happy one and a merry one for you. Join me next week for the Christmas special right here on the MT and Me. And have a merry old time until then. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below. Thumbs up. Like and share. Check out the mtandme.com. Do all that stuff. Buy me a coffee if you want to. It'd be a nice Christmas present. And Pearl would appreciate it too. Christmas time next week. Till then, I'm Russ. Thank you for watching. And we will talk later.